So, welcome back. Now we have completed the child introduction. Now we are getting into the need or the want category of a child. Let's do it. So, this is a little sensitive topic. There are different kinds of couple whom I came across. Few are really interested to have a child and they try, but they are not blessed with children or even a single child. There are few people, those who have a difference of opinion. Husband say let us have a child and wife say no, or wife say let us have a child and husband say no. And there are few people, those who say together, we are not matured enough to have a child, we ourselves are like children, and let us at least enjoy our life for a few more years and then let us take responsibility of our life. So there are different types of people. This segment, a next gen inviting formula, is for all category of couples, and we are going to discuss some sensitive topics like individual perspective towards having a child. I want you to have a passive approach and not an active approach, and defend or attack whenever I say. You can't attack me, I am in a safer place, but still you can attack from your thoughts, right? So I don't want you to think much when I am speaking, so that you can first listen completely and then you can definitely think and comment me below. People have different stands about whether we need to have child or not, when we need to have child, etc. I would like to say them one statement which my Acharya told in the Gurukul. I was then 23-year-old and I was coming out of the Gurukul Education, and when I passed out, when I was in my last day of the Gurukul, my Acharya called me and he was talking to almost every Gurukul students on the last day. So when he was talking to me, he was asking about my marriage, and I said yes, but that's a long time, I'm just 23. And when the discussion was happening, he was telling that marriage should happen fast, blah blah, many things he was telling. But one thing he was telling literally shook me. I was completely scared to even hear that statement. He said, Shankar, what do you think marriage is? Marriage is not a licensed prostitution. This is what he said. He said, marriage is not licensed prostitution. Therefore, the moment you get married, you need to think about having a child. And he was very clear about this. I was not very serious, but this thought was, so hard, so, bold. I was contemplating on it. And I felt it is 100% true. Why? Because the very purpose of marriage is to contribute a very good citizen to the society. The very purpose of marriage is a collective growth of the society. It may be ideal, I agree, but that's a beautiful thought. I have a huge respect towards this thought, because this thought is not selfish. This thought is not focusing on an individual, because all the bad things starts from individual likes and dislikes and individual addictions. And anybody who thinks about others also when they take a step, then the society will be very, very good, right? A person who's smoking in a bus stop, if he thinks about the children standing next to him, he will not smoke. As simple as that. In every thought, if we consider others' comfort and others' happiness also, then our decisions will be matured and our life standard also will be matured. And when many people have this kind of an approach, the very society will be matured and safe. And that was the intention behind every marriage those days, and that is why they said Sat Praja Siddhyartham Vivaha. The definition for a marriage or a purpose of marriage is to create a good citizen to the society. Sad Putra Siddhyartham na. Not to create a good son or good daughter, but Sat Praja Siddhyartham. Praja, citizen. Considering the society, I need to contribute to the society by giving a good, child which can make the society more beautiful. That is the intention for our marriage. Kya baat hai, right? So having that thought is completely, worth it, instead of marrying and not having a child. And not only that, this directly or indirectly affects your intimacy also. It is not natural you get married and not have a child. You can't be, right? This is not natural way. You use all the unnatural stuff in the middle. And when a husband and wife, when they get married and they are not having child, then husband will see wife as a woman, wife will see husband as a male. And when a male and a female approach is there between two beautiful relationship of the world, then how can that become beautiful, right? Because the sex is the reason of identifying the other person, right? And when a child comes in between, I don't see my wife as a woman or a female, I see my wife as a mother of my child or our child, right? When the concept of mother is superimposed on a woman, then the woman's status is, upgraded. When a wife see her husband not as a husband but as a father of our child, then the husband or a male is getting upgraded to father. And the relationship of husband and wife emerges when there is a child. It's a very beautiful connection. That intimacy happens when the husband and wife become father and mother. And that is what is natural. Now, there are few people, great social service people, they have a social concern and they save the world. They are the real Avengers of 21st century. And they say, we don't want to have a child because the world is having more population. Kya baat hai, right? Very, very logical reason. Now, I call them as crocodiles. I'm very sorry to say this. They are concerned about society. How much are they concerned about the society? We need to discuss about this because people don't talk about all these things. People are scared of talking about the reality. And there is a huge peer pressure of, Western influence or, modern approach where we don't ask a few fundamental questions in the right place. We use AC, we use fridge, car, e-waste, transport, and when we do all these things, we never think about nature. We think about country, or we don't think about carbon footprint. And when suddenly having one child in the world, we get all the things into our picture. So I don't want to address these people. If at all any of you are thinking that having a child is a waste of time, there are so many children out there, so therefore why should we have a child? We can at least adapt a child from an orphanage. Very, very good thought, and I respect you if you are having such a thought. But I have something for you. Adoption. We need to understand why in the first place a child is left as an orphan, right? Understand, every child is a product of the two minds which created it. I repeat, not two bodies, two minds. The nature of father's intention and the nature of mother's intention creates the child's nature. I repeat, nature of father's intention and nature of mother's intention creates child's nature. You invite the child. This is not a guest who appears in the door whom we don't know. No, child is not so. Child is purely invitation based. I repeat, that is why we kept the course name Next Gen Inviting Formula. Why? Because you can invite whomever you want. As a father or a mother, you can invite the person whom you want as your child. So definitely, if a child is orphan, then the child is nothing but the combination of that child's creators, father or mother, and both of their minds and their intentions are going to be there in the child's nature. You need to understand this basic design of a child. So what, I can have a child which is from a different parents with a different intentions. So I need to tell few more things as an example before you come to conclusion. Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, I don't know whether you know this. If you don't know, just skip this part. If you know, just listen. Dhritarashtra was a king, a blind king, and his wife is Gandhara Desha's princess, Gandhari. And both of them are married, and they got 100 children. And all the 100 children were so much power mongers. They want to rule the country, they want the power, they want to dominate. The entire society was disturbed by these 100 people. Whereas Pandavas were exactly the opposite, because the intention of their arrival itself is different. So whether it is one child or 100 children, the intention of the parents is going to be the result of the child's nature. Therefore, you need to think 100 times before adopting any child for that matter. The second valid reason is adoption is a very, very great thought, not action, because the thought is pure. You are concerned about some child who's not having family around, and that thought I respect, I salute, I even touch your feet for that thought. But you need to understand the bigger picture. More the adoption, more the irresponsible couples or parents are going to be created in the society. I repeat, because I am repeating again and again few sentences, because that should go so deep into you until and unless you understand it. If more people start adapting, then more orphans will be created. The world runs with only one rule: demand, supply. People will become more irresponsible, and they think that I can't take care of the child, but somebody can take care of this child, therefore I am giving away this child. This kind of irresponsible behavior will increase. If I have a child, what happens? I can give it away for adoption, right? So this kind of thoughts also will rise, and because of which the society will have imbalance. Third reason, if at all you are that much interested to take care of orphans, then you run your own orphanage, or you take good care, you reduce all your wants, and spend more money on the children. Take care of the orphans from wherever they are, or even you can have them in your house, but with your children. Now, number of children. The below poverty line, lower middle class, upper middle class, upper class. That is what all these letters are. Ideally, having the money, a person should have more children, because that person has more money. Therefore, that person can take care of many children. Therefore, the below poverty line people should have very, very less number of children, and the upper class financially upper class people should have more children because they have more money. This is a ideal way of thinking about children. Now, the action plan. We need to first discuss with our partner, because many a times we don't talk few sensitive things because we don't want to get into an argument. But that doesn't mean that you have solved the problem. So we need to sit and talk to your, you need to sit and talk to your partner and understand what your partner's expectation, what is your, thought on having a child, why, what, and what do you think. You need to discuss. This is not about which movie shall we watch. This is about a living child. Therefore, the child is going to be influenced by your thoughts, and therefore your thought should be as, synced as possible. Let's close this. Yes. Action plan. As per this video is concerned, the first thing what you need to do is you need to sit and talk to your partner. You need to convey what is in your mind and what are all your analysis on having a child and when to have a child, how many child, blah blah. And then not only just telling what you want or sharing your thoughts, but also you need to ask your partner and make sure that partner opens up his or her thoughts on having a child. So a complete open discussion is the only solution for clear step ahead. The second thing is you can't force your partner, because whatever you are the origin of the child. Therefore, when you both are having a conflict, intellectual difference of opinion, then the child also is going to be affected by your thoughts. Therefore, you both should have a complete synergy before taking up any action. So, without any delay, let us go to the next video and let us continue in the next video. Thank you.